day, freaks. I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And this is a live, okay? We are not pre recorded here. We are live and out loud. And I'm coming at you first thing in the morning to get my day off to a good start to just drop in and do a collective read that came in for me. How are you blocking your blessings? You know, we see so much focus in tarot land on how other people are blocking your blessings. And while it's true that there can be forces outside of you that can work against you on your path, around here at BroadCoven, we choose the more empowering route of taking personal accountability, looking at our role in these situations and what we can do to ensure that our side of the street is swept clean and that we're moving in our highest interest. This is a collective reading. We are reading for all signs. I will do a Q&A at the very end of this read for those who are following along with the Aries Point. Clear, align, activate 40 days of transformation. We are in our Concha Karma cleanse week this week. So some people may be having questions. If you are not familiar with what I'm talking about, check out my community page here on BroadCoven. I've done a lot of posting about it. I have a free Kapha Reset course that guides you through 6 weeks of purification techniques, mind, body, spirit, all based on the wisdom of Ayurveda. So don't miss out on that. I used to charge for that course, and I've decided to open up all of my Ayurvedic courses as the seasons come around to the public for free. And there's no strings attached, okay? It's my gift to you. I just want to pay it forward because I received so much healing from the path of Ayurveda, and my work is now moving in a new direction. I'm focusing on this stuff here, okay? So please do take full advantage of that opportunity. You can find it on cobrasmedicinebag.com. And if you go to the home page, you'll see a butterfly there. And there's a little write-up about the course. And right beneath it, you'll see a button that says free access. Click it, you're in. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't need to register an account. There is no upsell. There's no sales pitch. It's from me to you. Okay, so I hope you get a lot out of it. This particular download came in this morning for the collective. I thought it was an interesting query, something to dive into. How are we blocking our blessings? How are we getting in our own way and preventing what wants to come in? So we're just going to have a look at that now, okay? Bottom of the deck, we see the Four of Cups, okay? So when we're looking at the Four of Cups, we're looking at a feeling of dissatisfaction. And what is the dissatisfaction in? It's that we're looking at the past. We're looking at what didn't go the way we planned. And how often does that happen? Okay. The gods laugh at man's plans. You know, maybe you were hoping for healing in a situation. Maybe you thought if you headed in a certain direction, that it was going to give you something to celebrate, you know, some kind of coming together. For a lot of you, I do think this has to do with healing something. You know, there's some kind of connection where there's been a falling out. And I think that you've really wanted to pull things together here, but you're just not finding the cooperation, you know? And so this is kind of like you're staying in this stuck position. Maybe that is the opportunity that Spirit is trying to give you with this Ace of Cups here. It's like, okay, we understand you want to pull this thing together. We understand you're desiring healing with this person or in this situation. But first, you need to fill your own cup. You know, maybe you've been caretaking this situation for too long. There might be a little codependency here. Maybe you feel like you need to rescue this situation or rescue this person. Maybe you're taking too much responsibility for what's not yours to hold. And it's time for you to kind of like let go. 4:44 on the clock. Okay, big guidance coming in. It's really time to let go and trust that you've done everything that you could do in this situation. You've brought your piece forward. You also have to see you're kind of blocked off here. You know, the way the arms are crossed over the chest, you know, you can't receive that healing that you're looking for if your energy is closed off, right? If everything about your stance is saying, no, I'm not receptive to talking about this. I don't want to see another point of view. I'm not willing to look at things from your side. You're going to find that what you need isn't going to come in. I do feel a lot of this has to do with caretaking, though. It has to do with feeling like situations needed to turn out the way you thought they should, as opposed to how they actually need to play out for all the parties involved to learn the lessons they need to learn. Things happen in a certain way for a reason, and you're not the only person in this mix. So the other people involved also have their own lessons that they need to learn. And maybe your lesson is about patience. And maybe your lesson is about letting go. And maybe your lesson is about trusting. And it's not so much about trying to direct things, control things, for you to determine how somebody else should feel in the situation or what action they should be taking. This is kind of like take your hands off of it. I see this Ace of Cups being handed by Spirit as an invitation to, let go. Take this time to fill your own cup. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you need to heal in yourself, not how you think other people need to heal in order to fit your narrative, your story of the situation. Let each person take responsibility for their own part. You focus on yourself, you fill your own cup. And then you'll see the gift that Spirit wants to bring forward through this situation. Nothing's going to happen through force. And it's about unblocking your energy. So I really feel like there's some stagnant, positions you're holding within that are sort of blocking the flow. Yeah, you're meant to open up to this brand new cycle with the Fool, okay? Maybe you're looking at things through the eyes of the past. You keep looking at the way things used to be. And maybe there's been changes in this situation that you're not acknowledging. Maybe there's been changes within yourself. Maybe you're so used to just wanting something so badly, whether it be a person or a position or a certain situation to unfold the way you thought would be your fulfillment, your dream come true. And maybe that's not the case at all. You ever think of that? Maybe you haven't even taken the time to really pull your energy back from this situation, sink into who you are now. You might find that you're not really wanting what you once wanted because you're not who you were back there. And if you aren't who you were back there, maybe the other parties involved aren't who they were either. Okay. So this is sort of like be open. The Fool doesn't know where he's going. He has no idea what's up ahead on that road. He has optimism. He has desire, for something more. And he feels pulled forward in this direction. And some of you may feel like, well, yeah, but I felt that pull. I felt that intuitive pull. I felt that calling. I thought Spirit was telling me to go and heal with this person or work out this situation or go for this position, whatever it may be. And it's been nothing but one test after another. Well, maybe you did get the call to do that. And maybe it was your own ideas of why you were getting called to this that is tripping you up and getting you in the way. It's not really giving yourself over to the process. There might be some very important things that are coming through right now that are so foundational for your growth and what is going to come forward for you in the future. And maybe you don't understand it right now. Maybe there's certain things that needed to be highlighted, certain issues you need to heal within yourself, certain stuck points, of seeing things where you're not willing to look at things through another's eyes that are preventing this from coming together. And so, yes, you might have been compelled to take a step in this direction, take a step toward this person, apply for this position, whatever it may be. And you may be coming across these roadblocks because the roadblocks are actually the way. They're the way to the manifestation of your fulfillment and your dream, though you can't see it right now, okay? It could be that this situation, this person is a catalyst that's meant to open up a brand new chapter in your life. But they're actually not supposed to be part of that chapter. They were just the spark, the inspiration, okay, to open yourself up to this growth process that is going to awaken in you what you need to step up into a greater potential, okay? We have this dog nipping at the heels, reminding you, look where you're going, look where you're going. Okay. Look at your actions. Look how you're moving forward in life so you don't trip yourself up. Okay. I'm just getting this deck all ready here. Information coming in right off the bat on the split of the deck. Yeah, sometimes you have to travel alone with that hermit energy. This is about taking some time and some space to yourself. And just because you try to heal a situation, or you try to bring a group of people together, or you try to be the mediator in a family rift, whatever your situation may be, I really feel what's coming forward for the collective right now is that you do feel like you received some calling, and you do feel like it came from the deepest place in yourself. You do feel that it was motivated by something good and pure and true. And that's the desire to heal, the desire to reconcile, the desire to bring things together. And for some of you, this isn't about a person, it's not about anybody else. It's that you have some kind of project, some kind of vision, something you've been pouring your energy into that you feel gives back, that it gives something back to the world. And you felt like you've just been encountering one block after another, and yet you felt like you got the call from spirit, and you're like, okay, I picked up the call. Why am I coming across one block after another? And it's this piece of like not understanding how important your personal growth is through this process, that is part of the calling. And it's what you learn during this phase of encountering one block after another and kind of being thrown back on yourself over and over and over and over again, that like kind of awakens your superpowers. It awakens this resilience in you. It awakens a deeper understanding that will really serve the people that you're going to be connecting with and working with. There's something that comes through this time of you walking the path alone. And a lot of you are being asked to do that right now. You're trying to bring things together that aren't ready to come together. So this is really about trusting divine timing, you know, trusting that all things unfold the way that they need to. And any time that we are pushing the river, trying to make something happen on our time, we are bound to encounter one block after another, because when we do that, we're moving from a very egocentric place. We're on I time, instead of understanding that there's so many other people affected by every choice we make in life. I mean, people don't really like to look at things through that lens. They like to think, oh, I just move of my own accord and nobody else is affected. And it's not true. We affect the greater whole with every choice we make. We have that kind of power. We're all tapped into source. It's all one energy. So naturally, anything we do has a ripple effect, right? And so I think this is also spirit trying to tell you, hey, you've awakened to a certain truth within yourself. It's connected you with your empowerment. You're running your energy in a different way right now. And so you need this time, this space to be very mindful about what you're calling in. And are you sure you want to call this thing in? Is it really in alignment with you? See, the thing is when things are in alignment with us, they tend to come in of their own accord. Things just line up just so. And we are in this space right now as we head up to that Aries point, which is when the nodes of destiny shift and the Taurus North node slides into Aries. And when it slides into Aries, Aries is going to be at 0 degrees. They call that the Aries point. It's in a point when the alpha and omega are in balance, and we have an opportunity to create manifestation. The alpha, omega, what am I talking about? I'm talking about masculine, feminine. You can call it divine masculine. You can call it divine feminine. It is the Shiva. It is the Shakti. It is the yin. It is the yang. It is the active. It is the receptive. And it's the point when these two places converge. So do you know what that means? That's the point of creation. You see, the masculine is the active force, okay? The masculine provides the avenue, the portal, you could say, the way, the road for creativity, the feminine principle, to come on through and give birth to that new beginning as the Empress. All right. So this is really a point of getting very clear that we're in right now, these months leading up to that changing of the guards in July. It's time for us really to consider, what are we wanting to call in, making sure that our motivations are coming from a place that's informed by our wisdom that we've gained through our past experiences, the healing work we already have done, the ways we've already taken accountability in our life, the things that we have cut off, the things that we have released. Ed says yes. Very interesting. Okay, so we're talking about that Aries point, and it's interesting because we have the Seven of Wands coming up with a crossing influence of the King of Wands. Okay, so we're right now, we're in a position where, this is very interesting. We're really needing to block off this time. Some people may feel like your position is very defensive, and they might not understand that. I don't think that there is that perspective, though, of the way you've been holding a lot of energy. I feel like a lot of you have invested your time and energy in a situation, and you've been doing your best to hold space for everybody's experience. But along the way, you got kind of lost in the shuffle. You were making room for everybody else's feelings, what they must be going through. You were trying to be understanding. You were trying to be compassionate. And I feel like you've now decided to sort of pull your energy back. And if you haven't, you really should, because there's a lot of energy that's trying to get tapped into you. Okay. And this is also a lot of people's ideas about what you should be doing, how they think you should be taking charge. Maybe there's a lot of people looking towards you to take charge of this situation, but is it really yours to take care of? Every person holds their peace. And if you're dealing with any kind of group dynamic, if you're trying to heal some kind of social situation, or you're trying to heal a family rift, or you're dealing with a situation that has other people involved, a lot of other people involved, maybe gossip involved, maybe everybody having very strong feelings involved, that can create a convoluted, situation that makes it difficult for everybody to get on the same page. And so what's important is to pull your energy back and you get on the page you need to be on to open up your new chapter, okay? The rest falls into place. Once you've made your position known, there really isn't much more for you to do. And I feel like you have done this, or you're about to do this. You're readying yourself to do this if you haven't done it already. I feel like a large portion of the collective has already done this, though. You've made your position very clear. You've spoken your truth. You've said, this is how I feel. This is what I hope for in this situation. You've even tried to meet other people halfway, but I think what you found is yourself getting exhausted, because you constantly found people coming at you, either wanting to pull on your energy, wanting to pull on your time, wanting you to fix things, wanting you to be the voice of reason, instead of each individual kind of like taking their part and looking at their own piece that they hold. Okay. So I feel like what's so important right now is you're blocking your blessings by not really blocking off some time and space for you to really get clear on what you need in this situation. I think it's very wonderful and noble that you've been thinking about what everybody else needs in the situation and what's going to make them happy, or calm them down, or please them, or how you can make things work out with this person or this situation that you're embroiled in. But have you really taken the time to take a moment to yourself to sort of create some space to think about how this is impacting you? This is not an easy position to hold. Okay. It's a lot of responsibility. And I feel like you've just been fending off so much coming at you. So this is about you really taking the time to get in touch with what you need, what you need. And as you do this and you start to address it for yourself with that Ace of Cups, that the spirit was handing out to you, in the Four of Cups. It's like, okay, you want this healing. The problem is you keep looking outside of yourself for it. You're trying to find healing through achieving a certain position, or you're trying to find healing through finally arriving at that point of success. Then my life will be right. Then everything will fall into place. You're trying to find healing by thinking that it's about, working it out with this person or bringing a family together, whatever it may be. And that very well could be a beautiful destination to arrive at. But it's sort of like spirit saying the healing is about you really taking responsibility for yourself, your own healing and your own needs, and not requiring or having this expectation that anything outside of yourself fulfills these needs for you. And how are you going to get in touch with what your needs are so you can actually begin to address your needs? You have to block off some time. You have to give yourself some space. You have to tell people, hey, you know what? I've made my position clear. I've given all I can give in this situation. You know where I'm at. I'm receptive, but I'm not here to fix your life for you. And I'm not here to straighten out this situation for you. And I'm not here to help you figure out your own truth and what you need. And I'm also not here to fulfill all your needs, because just like I have a responsibility to fulfill my own needs, you do too. And I'm getting drained here. Okay. So I feel like this is really important to block off the time, to block off the space, to block off the energy. And it's really important to do so right now during Aries season, because this was the crossing influence. A lot of you may be dealing with a fire sign, okay? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Somebody has strong fire in their chart. When I call out signs in the read, we are looking at any significant placement. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars. We got to throw Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in the mix because of what's been going on with the astrology. All right. So maybe you feel like this person is the problem. Maybe you feel like this person is getting in the way. Maybe you feel like, hey, you're not helping out here. You're being an obstruction. You're being too self-motivated. You're not considering other people in this situation. Maybe you think this person's being selfish, and pick what side you're on, okay? It could be the fire signs are feeling somebody else is being selfish, all right? You have to look at, how it's communicating to you. But King of Wands is a very independent energy, all right? King of Wands is an energy that knows what it wants, okay? Knows how to get it, and acts independently. And its priority is to fulfill its own ambitions and its own desires first. Highly independent energy. And if we're looking in terms of romantic relationship, um, this individual really stands in their own power, in their own energy. Fire signs tend to operate like that. If they do take somebody on, it's because they feel like this person can really meet them where they're at. Morning, good to see you. We're dropping in with a read first. I'll do a Q&A after, okay? We're looking at how you are blocking your blessings. We see so much, focusing on people outside of ourselves. So I'm really bringing the energy into our personal accountability for the collective. So we can get some productive work done, right? And we can move these blocks out of the way. We can open our road first within us, and then we'll see the road open without. So we're looking at a situation where we've been trying to caretake the situation collectively. We've been trying to get our needs met through bringing something together with other people, or something where other people, forces outside of ourselves, have a direct impact on bringing this thing into being. And spirit is kind of coming through saying it's up to you all to, do what you need to do to heal yourself. You can't expect other people to meet your needs. Once you've made your position clear, stand on it. If it's your truth, stand on it. Stay true to it. But now's the time to kind of, stop caretaking this situation and move into this more fire sign energy. All right. You're being asked to move more independently right now. You're being asked to trust that everything that is meant for you, the blessings that are earmarked for you, they're going to come your way. All right. They're going to come your way naturally. Okay. Tower. bottom of the deck energy. All right. Sometimes things don't turn out the way you want them to. Sometimes people aren't who you thought they were. And it doesn't matter how much you want to help them see the light or how much you want to try to heal the situation or take control of it. Um, it's just not going to budge the way you want it to. This is about letting the tower fall, right? There is a need for the collective to get a different perspective right now. There's a need to, stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself because you're just wasting your time and holding yourself back. You can't build something on a faulty ground, okay? Can't build something on faulty ground with that tower. Look what comes right after it. This is what we need. We need that brand new beginning, the new chapter. Well, the old way has to go. And even if you are in a process where you're hoping to heal with another person, okay? You want reconciliation, you want healing, you want unification. That's your desire. Or you're really hoping to make this dream project, a reality. You're hoping to launch it because you feel like, but this is going to do good in the world. Why am I coming up against so many blocks? Well, there's some faulty foundation here. In some way, something needs to be torn down because it's false. That's what the tower is about. The tower comes around to tear apart illusion, to bring down the house of cards. Nothing stable, nothing worthwhile, and certainly not anything healing can be built on a faulty foundation. All right. So this is about bringing this down. And that's part of your manifestation. A lot of people don't understand that. They just see it as a failure. Oh, things aren't working out the way I want them to. So there must be something wrong with this person. It's their fault. They're blocking me. No, maybe this is part of your manifestation. Maybe there's things inside of yourself that aren't true. Stories you've been telling yourself, ways you've been programmed, things you've just adopted as your truth because it's how you've been conditioned through your upbringing, through, your experiences, through your traumas, through things you've been through. Maybe things aren't the way you think they are. Do you have a willingness to be wrong? Maybe being wrong could be the most wonderful thing you could ever hope for. You know what I'm saying? What if you think everybody's working against you and they're actually not? What if everything's actually working for you? It's sort of like this is that blockbuster energy, right? We're working with a road opener with these 40 days we're traveling through, okay? To this Aries point we want to head into where we can really activate our vision, where we can bring these things together. And it's sort of like saying, okay, well, before you can have a road opener, you know what you need? You need blockbuster. You need a blockbuster, and a blockbusting is a disruptive experience. And anybody who's ever done any alchemical work, and you've actually worked with a blockbuster, you've done a blockbuster working, you know what I'm talking about. Usually when you get to that point where you're employing a blockbuster working, you're like, whew, oh my God. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore because you know that when you do that kind of a working, it's going to be really disruptive. It's going to bring on a tower. Some of you, this is very interesting. Some of you may have done a blockbuster. There may be a fire signs out there. I don't know if somebody with strong fire placement may have done a blockbuster. Maybe you do that kind of work. Maybe you are on the path of the craft, or you're a root worker or something. Maybe you have encountered a lot of obstacles, and maybe you decided you were gonna do a blockbuster, open your road. You got tired of feeling held back like this. Well, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes, but hey, it's going to get what you want. It's going to open up the road. Okay. So whatever is happening in your life right now, collective, it's not about thinking that somebody's working against you or life is punishing you or moving into any of these states. Because do you see, if you think that somebody is working against you, or you think that life is punishing you, or God isn't listening to you, or however you're relating to it, do you understand how you're putting the power outside of yourself? And this is about you stepping into that position where you can really just squeeze all the potential, all the juice out of that Aries point. That's the point when the alpha, the omega come together, the avenue and the creative force come together, and you can actually manifest whatever you want moving forward independently in and of yourself. If what you're wanting to manifest in your life is hinged on a particular person, okay, and it's not something that's born outside of yourself, you're already working against yourself. You can't control other people. You can't control what they do. You can't control their choices. And likewise, even if you're trying to bring some project into being, you're trying to release an album, you know, there's something you're wanting to get out to a broader collective, you know, you're wanting to put it out there into the world, and you're just coming across one challenge after another, and you feel like you're being held back and you don't understand. You're like, wait a minute. The spirit gave me the memo. I was supposed to go down this road. I thought this was what I was supposed to do. This was my purpose. Yeah, it is. And the blocks are part of it. When you get called to a higher calling, okay, the blocks are part of the path to get there. It's because you are working the path, and the path is working through you. So your path understands everything that is going to get in the way of you actually reaching your destination. And that's all those blocks inside yourself. So challenges have to be thrown on your road. It's the hero's journey. Okay? Joseph Campbell, look it up. It's the hero's journey. You know, it is that journey of the fool. It's going through all the hard knocks of life, getting your lumps and bumps from the school of hard knocks. And you know, sometimes love is tough. It's not always sweet. It's not always soft. Okay. Sometimes we learn our lessons fiercely. Sometimes we have to go through that fire test of truth. Okay. That like blows our mind and our entire view of reality, but it's revolutionary. It's revolutionary. And if you look at revolutionary backwards in the center there, you'll find love. Okay. So whatever is happening in your life right now that is feeling disruptive or not coming together the way you want it to, and you're feeling this like frisson or disconnect from spirit or even your own intuition or higher consciousness, because you're like, I don't get it. I feel like I had such an energetic pull to go in this direction. It felt so right. It felt like my yes, like everything about this registered yes. And yet I'm feeling totally stuck. It's because you're trying to control too much. You're still trying to make it too much about everybody outside of yourself and their choices. This is just the way it is. It's also about you kind of letting go of your destination. The fool doesn't know where the fool is going. Okay. The fool has no idea where they're going. Look at them. They got their face toward the sky. It's like they're looking up hopefully. They're looking into the sky. What do you feel when you look in the sky? You feel this expansion. There's just never ending horizon there, right? You know, anything is possible. Anything can fill that space. It's like a clean slate. Okay. It's a clean slate. And the directive is coming from something higher to move forward on a path. It's our own thoughts about what's supposed to happen at the end of the road that get in our way. We don't know. We don't know. So yes, you may have been called to reach out to a certain person to try to heal a certain relationship. Yes, that may be the higher calling. And maybe that had more to do with you speaking a truth that you held in for too long. Or maybe just you releasing some emotions that were acting like baggage that you were dragging behind you, that were holding you back, that were keeping you from stepping into this expansion. Maybe you went toward that person, that place, that situation to sort of close that circle and give your peace. It doesn't necessarily mean there was supposed to be a continuation. It doesn't necessarily mean that that person is supposed to come along with you for this part of the journey. And maybe you were a catalyst for this person and you don't even realize it. Maybe to you, it seems like, well, they didn't even care. It didn't even matter to them that I made these efforts to try to make things right. They didn't even hear me out. They didn't want to listen. They blocked me, whatever it may be. Okay, you might think that on the surface, but you might not understand the deeper undercurrent. You might not understand how you were a catalyst for this person. You might not understand how you threw them back on themselves. Maybe they are doing a deep dive into themselves. Maybe it brought up stuff for them to look at. Maybe it brought up stuff for them to heal. Maybe they got their own path that got ignited by you coming forward, making your efforts. But one thing that's coming through very clear here, you all need to let go. Four of Swords. It's time for you to let go. It's time for you to take your hands off of it. It's time for you to trust. And most of all, trust yourself. That though things might not have turned out the way you thought they should, or it appears they're not, okay? Because again, there's so much timing in play right now. There's so much divine timing in play right now. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean the healing isn't happening. Healing happens beneath the surface, okay? And just because you haven't heard from this person or you didn't hear back from that, job that you were hoping to get, that opportunity that you were certain it should be yours. Maybe it's just a matter, it's not the right timing. And yes, you were supposed to take that action because it's like a chain reaction. Your action sparks another action, sparks a reaction, and it just keeps going and going. It's a web of life. If you were to let's look at like this web concept. If spider medicine, okay, spider medicine is all about creation. A lot of people fear spiders. Isn't that interesting? It's like I always look at that like totems that people have a lot of fear or resistance around. Spiders it's something a lot of people are afraid of. Spiders. I'm not. I love spiders. Okay. I used to have a pet tarantula actually named Fang Manchu. But I digress. A lot of people have a fear of spiders, and yet spider medicine is all about creativity, connectivity. It's about bringing things together. It's about an understanding that there is a reverberation, an energetic reverberation for every action that we take that spreads throughout all of creation, that affects the greater whole. It's powerful. Yes, I love spider medicine too. It is so powerful. Okay. So I feel this is a bit of this spider medicine. It's like, okay, you took your action. You got the call. I need to go for this opportunity, or I need to apply for this position, or I need to try to launch this business, or I need to create this album, this piece of art. I need to talk to this person. I need to heal this family rift. You got the call. You took the call. You took the action. And now you're sitting here doubting the action, even though you know within yourself 100% you were in energetic alignment when you took that action. But just because you're not seeing the result, now you have a lack of faith. You don't trust. Do you understand when you move into that position, you're automatically losing a grip on your power? You're not in your power anymore. And your power isn't something you can grip anyway. You're trying to hold power by blaming it on somebody outside yourself. Well, they didn't respond. It's them. They need to heal. They need to do the work. I did what I needed to do. Why are they stuck in this position? Or why did the position go to this person? I was more qualified. Okay. Or why don't people get what I'm putting out creatively? Maybe it's shit. Maybe I shouldn't put it out there. Okay. Stop it. That's how you lie to yourself. That's how you sabotage yourself. That's how you block your blessings, because you're not trusting the process. You're not understanding that those shadow aspects, okay, that are being highlighted to you by other people's choices, they are awakening shadow aspects of yourself that you need to cleanse, that you need to look at. Okay. This is about trusting yourself and letting go and knowing that you trusting yourself And acting on that directive was you being in alignment with the calling. And you don't know where it's leading you. So just be at peace with that. Ace of Swords. That's the truth. That's the truth. I want you to pay attention to what happens when we stand in our truth, when we trust. We trust our actions. Swords are also about actions. Swords are also about our words, the way we communicate. So trust that you did the right thing. You took the right action. It was true. It was in alignment with your truth. What you spoke was in alignment with your truth. And despite any opposition you may be encountering, when you have acted from the place of your truth, what's at the top of that sword? What's on the tip of the sword? That crown, those laurel leaves. Those laurel leaves are what make up the victory wreaths. And what comes right after it was 41:11 on the clock when I said that. Okay. Total alignment. It may come in initially as what is looking disruptive to you. Do not resist the disruption. It's your freedom. It's your freedom. It's revolutionary. And it's leading you to this. 10 of Cups. Fulfillment. Happiness. Look at the rainbow. The promise on the other side of the storm. All right. So write it out. Let go. Trust. Write it out. Bring your energy into yourself. Stand on your truth. Okay. And stop looking for the fulfillment you're seeking right now to come from anything outside of yourself. How can you fulfill your own needs in this moment? You'll get clear about that the more you kind of bring your energy into yourself. We got Taurus North Node energy coming in really big here. And it's significant because we are needing to move into the Taurus North Node at this time. The Taurus North Node is all about our destiny. Our destiny springs from the place of us embodying the Taurus energy, which is understanding our worth, understanding our value, understanding what we bring to the table. Okay. So if you are in this space where, let's say you're trying to heal a relationship, or you're trying to heal some kind of social dynamic or a family rift, right? And you're the one who's trying to caretake everything, and you're taking on all the responsibility, and you're getting put in the middle of this situation, and everybody is putting their pressure on you. Everybody is dumping on you, and you're feeling overwrought in this situation. Are you really understanding your value? Are you? I mean, maybe you're feeling a certain sense of like fulfillment in that. You feel like, yeah, I'm taking charge of this situation. Maybe that's giving you some sense of control. Okay. Earth sign collective front and center. Taurus really strongly, because I'm feeling like this is coming through communicating about the nodes of destiny. And this is speaking of that Taurus north node that collectively we're supposed to rise up into out of the Scorpio south node, which is all the shadow work we're doing right now. It is that tower. Okay. We're trying to rise up out of the tower into a place of really rooting something in our lives that's based on our values, what we value at the end of the day, what has meaning for us, what has worth, and also really being in a place of creating it from understanding our own worth, our own value, and what is worthy of our time, our energy, and our investment. I want you to look here. The masculine is upright. Okay. Yeah, you got a great vision. You got the calling. You know what you want to create. You already took an action. Okay. But now you're trying to control what the manifestation looks like. Too much. Look what's out of balance. The feminine, the queen is in reverse. Okay. The queen is in reverse. You're not letting go so you can receive. And this is a deep need for the feminine, okay, to do some work around worthiness. All right. And maybe in particular, worthiness around receiving the masculine. Maybe you feel because of abandonment issues And this could spring from any strong masculine figure in your life. It could be a father figure. It could be, a first love. It could be just your romantic experiences in general. It can be a boss you had, that really um, shook your confidence. Okay. But I feel like, or just the masculine as an overarching theme. We already brought this in yesterday. Interesting, about the masculine can be a protector, and the masculine can be a provider, and the masculine can provide a way through. And we need both, right? We need both to make our visions become reality. It's necessary. The masculine is the avenue, the feminine is the creative. So this shows me that the feminine is not feeling within her creative power. The feminine is not feeling fulfilled. The feminine is blocked. The feminine is blocking because they feel like they aren't worthy of receiving it. They aren't deserving of receiving it. This is about transforming this, okay? Alchemizing this. This is why there's a need for space here to understand how you are having such a hard time receiving. Do you understand? If you're caretaking situations, feminine, this is how the feminine can go out of balance. The feminine gets used to being cast in this role. Well, I am the caregiver. That's what the feminine does. The feminine nurtures. Okay. But if you are spilling out all of your energy all the time and you never pour into yourself or never open yourself to receive what wants to pour into you from spirit, from helpful people in your life, then you end up in this position where you're extremely depleted. And you start to internalize the lack of flow, the lack of give and take in your life as being, I'm unworthy, I don't deserve. Okay. There's a need to take some time to really pour into yourself, to create space for yourself to look at this specific issue, collective. It's coming up very strongly around earth sign energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. In what ways are you working against yourself by trying to take care of everybody else? Are you trying to earn a place in their life? Because normally you don't feel like you are worthy of that. Okay. Are you at your job taking on extra hours, taking up the slack because other people aren't doing their job? They're not holding their peace. You're taking all the responsibility. You're running yourself into the ground, and yet you're not seeing yourself advance. You're like, why am I not advancing? Why am I not getting the promotion? Why am I still stuck here doing this grunt work? It's because you've already put yourself in that role. You've said, this is the best I deserve. I deserve to do this grunt work. You know, it's like once you have a look at that and you're like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? I bring something valuable to the table. And I don't need to take responsibility for what everybody else is supposed to be handling themselves. I can pull my energy back and I can start really showing up and doing my work to the best of its ability. And that's when you advance. Okay. Look at this. It transforms the energy. There's that Aries North node. Okay. The Magician. But this is about you taking action on behalf of yourself. It brings your new beginning. You need to move into your fire a little bit more, which is interesting because with this Aries Point Panchakarma cleanse we're doing this week, it is about igniting the inner fire. But you have to first, if you've been burned out, if you've burned out your fire from spilling your energy out, trying to get other people to see your vision the way you do, you're not going to bring anything together. It's your vision. All right. So despite feeling like you got the calling, and things not turning out the way you thought they would, or it seems like, things are kind of going off-road now. And you're like, I have no idea what's going on or why I was even asked to take that action. This is about you really trusting that there's something really powerful that comes through this in the end. It's a brand new beginning. And it's so important that you stay in this place of choosing the balancing point. Look at, I love all the masculine, feminine that's coming out, you know, what's normally a duality. And look at this, what's in the center of this Lover's card? This is a whole new take on the Lover's card. But look at this Lover's card here. What's in the center? Temperance, bringing the balance, bringing the blending, bringing the unification point. And what is the unification point? It's that Aries point. When the alpha, the omega, the yin, the yang, the masculine, the feminine, the Shiva, the Shakti, they are perfectly in alignment to bring in that new beginning, that full, the 0 point, right? Aries will be at 0 degrees when it moves into the North Node in July, okay? This is the balancing point. This is the balancing point. You cannot just be all active going after something. That is masculine principle. You cannot control everything, okay? You took your action. Now stand on it. It was your truth. It was right for you at that time. And now go for the ride. All right? Go for the ride and see where it leads. And don't fall into disillusionment. Don't start telling yourself some story about why it's not manifesting and that it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. So I must be under some kind of illusion, or maybe somebody's blocking my blessings. No, the blocks are part of your blessing, because they're helping you move out of this illusion. They're helping you see things in a new way. They're helping you heal a lot of subconscious shit that's held you back for too long. It's a gift. And it absolutely brings you your new beginning. Look at this. Boom. Ace of Pentacles, spring timing card. This is coming in. You're just at the beginning now. A seed was planted. You have to let it grow. What does it bring? What was the collective wanting? What was the collective wanting? The collective was wanting this healing, this reason to celebrate, the 3 of Cups. It's what they were looking back at. Where is it? Come on through, baby. Where are you? I got to find the card. I got to find the card. Where did it go? I might have picked it back up. I probably did. There's the 4 of Cups. Let me get that 4 of Cups out. I know we all know what the 4 of Cups looks like, but I want to find it just so I can show the imagery and how it's communicating the message. This is why, there it is. Okay, I did. I picked it up and put it back in the deck. Okay. Look, this is what you're like. I didn't get the healing I wanted. I didn't get my reason to celebrate. I didn't get my victory. Didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Look at Spirit here. Look. You did the right thing. You took the call. Here's your Ace of Cups. Let go. Trust. Pour into yourself. All right? The only reason you're struggling is because you think that the blocks are a problem. But really, Spirit's saying, no, first, before you can receive this celebration, before you can receive this healing that you want, you got some healing to do for yourself. And hey, you've done a lot. You took on a lot of responsibility. I want to pour into you. Will you let me pour into you? Will you let me heal you? Will you let me fill your cup? Will you let me restore you? Will you get out of the way? You wanted to bring this together. You've been asking me for help. You've been reaching out. You've been sending up your prayers. Okay, you took the action I asked you to take. Will you get out of the way? Will you get out of the way so I can give you the celebration you want? Will you stop thinking that something's wrong just because you didn't get the position? Just because you didn't hear from that person? Just because you never got the phone call? Just because it looks like somebody else is getting what you thought you should have? Maybe everything is absolutely exactly as it needs to be. And it's lining up that way for a very specific reason that you do not understand. There's always going to be other people that influence any dream you go after, because when we put a dream out into the world, we are plucking one of those threads of that spider web of creativity and connectivity. You pluck a spider's web. For those of you that are brave, Just, try to touch a spider's web or watch when a spider is walking on a web. You will see it reverberating. One little action, one little step, sending out a letter, picking up the phone and leaving somebody a message, because they didn't pick up or whatever. It may seem like nothing has come of it, putting in that application, writing up your bio, starting your website, whatever it may be. You may feel like it's crickets. What's going on? Some of you may have really resisted this at first, and you're like, no, that's not right. I knew I was supposed to do this. Why am I not getting it? You might have started trying to push, trying to push, trying to push, trying to control. And the more you started to control and the more you saw what you wanted going further away from you, you started to blame other people. If they did this, they did that. It's because they're getting in my way. They're blocking my blessings. No, you're not trusting the process of creation. It goes through stages. And in order to effectively create, you have to be clear. So sometimes, and in particular, when we're looking for something that involves a spirit of celebration, like us stepping up to another level in our lives, okay, it requires growth. Us healing, experiencing a healing with another, it requires us clearing ourselves of everything inside of us that is unlike love so we can meet another in that space of total receptivity. All right, let's meet at this table. Let's meet as equals, eye to eye. Let's heal this, okay? And even if you feel like, oh, I've cleared all that's unlike love within me, which I highly doubt, okay? But just for the sake of debate, let's say you feel like you are in that place and you don't have one single shred of shadow left in you. I mean, I do have to say, if you are of this mindset, I think you are due a tower, okay? Even if you were in that place, you don't know where the other people involved in your situation are at. So you just have to trust your action and you have to trust your intuition. And as soon as you stop making it about them or anything outside of yourself, and you instead turn your energy within and you go, you know what? I feel good about what I did. I know I made the right choice. I felt that, I felt that in my soul. And I don't know why I'm not hearing anything back, or I don't know why I didn't get the opportunity. I don't know why it looks like this is passing me by, but I'm just going to trust that I set some kind of energy in motion and that my manifestation is coming to me. And I'm not going to try to caretake this situation. And I'm not going to try to, control what other people are doing. I'm not going to try to force this person to communicate with me. And I'm not going to try to push against their boundaries. If they put up a boundary, if they're not reaching out to me, if they've said they don't want to talk to me, I'm not going to infringe on that. If I already put out the communication and they're not communicating back, I'm not going to push it. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to trust it's as it needs to be. And that's when your manifestation comes in, okay? That's when you'll start to see the healing energy come in. And that's when you're going to have your reason to celebrate. I just want to see top of the deck energy here. Yeah, look, it's about letting go, moving away from the struggles. But I highly recommend, it's like you're trying to move forward into this new chapter and look at all the swords coming along in this boat with you to get to the other side. Like, the swords are the worries, the swords are the stress, the swords are the story, the narrative that you're telling yourself about what you're leaving behind. And you might not be leaving it behind. It just might be running a different course than you. And then, oh, down the road, oh, what? Oh, our ships are meeting up here. Okay, so you don't know. But whatever you see as you moving away from right now, you're carrying all the pain and all the narrative and all the story about it with you forward. So when you do that, all you're going to do is you're going to continue to create the same old shit over and over again. The same old story over and over again. Don't do that. It's time to put down these swords so you can move to calmer waters, leave all this turbulence behind you, and trust where that current is going to carry you. It's carrying you somewhere beautiful. You already know this. You got 10 of Cups. That's ultimate fulfillment. You got Ace of Pentacles. What you're planting now, be mindful of it. It's going to grow to fruition. It will grow to fruition. It's promised with that 10 of Cups. It brings you healing with the 3 of Cups and celebration. All right. So this is about you moving independently, right? Moving independently, moving away from this energy and not carrying those swords with you. It's the full on letting go. Okay, I'm ready to move forward now. I got the call. I took the action. I trusted my intuition. I can feel good about that. And look at that. When you do that, look at the basis of that. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands to King of Wands. Remember this? The energy was out of balance. Okay, this is you bringing your fire forward. This is about the feminine finally getting the memo. Oh, wait a minute. I have my own needs. I have things I desire as well. I have things I want to create for myself. I feel like this is really coming up in relationship dynamics, okay? And now the feminine is in balance. Once coming to this sense of acknowledgement that no, I did what I needed to do back there. I did what I needed to do. And I can let go of that now. Now it's time for me to focus on myself and what I'm wanting to create for myself. And being a little, maybe what some people would say, selfish, because you're not focusing on them anymore. You're letting them do what they need to do with what you brought forward. Okay. This brings the balance. Okay. The ability to act. Wands are fire energy. It's about the ability to act. And this is about the ability to act independently. Okay. But do you see when you have the ability to act independently, what happens? That's when you come into alignment. All right. This is when you come into alignment. The masculine, the feminine come into alignment. They meet eye to eye. It's also, this is when your actions can actually bear fruit and produce results. All right. So this is what's needed, is that letting go. All right. Yeah. Air sign collective showing up. Air sign's like, hey, come this way. We'll tell you how you do this. You got to be bold. You got to be daring. You got to be willing to take some risks. That's what the Page of Swords is about. That's what the Page of Swords is about. Reversed, you don't want to be around this energy. Okay. Upright, this is very like moving forward purposefully. Okay. And daringly, and keeping yourself about it. All right. So this is in your best interests. You don't need to let everybody know where you're going, what you're doing, what you're investing your energy in at this time, leading up to that Aries point. The more that you pull other people in, the more it's going to convolute your energy, because all of a sudden you have other people's opinions about what you're doing, other people's naysaying about what you're doing, other people feeling maybe in some cases competitive about what you're doing. It allows all kinds of other people's energy to get thrown into that collective cauldron that's brewing inside of you, your cauldron of creativity, and what's going to bring you your personal fulfillment, healing, and reason to celebrate. Okay. So this is about really kind of like building your own momentum right now. And any actions that you took outside of yourself that were connected to anything outside of yourself, just because they're not panning out the way they need to in your mind right now, does not mean that they're not turning out exactly the way they need to. Okay. For a lot of you, this has to do with a soulmate. For a lot of you, this is front and center. It's about a soulmate. It's also about nostalgia. It's about the way things used to be. I wish things would just go back to the way they used to be. They can't. They can't. And that's a great way to sabotage yourself and block your blessings, because things can never go back to the way they used to be. Life is not static like that. Life is a creative force. It's constantly shifting, moving, evolving, changing, growing. You are too. So are they. And this is a time of soulmate reunion. Okay. And when I'm saying soulmate reunion, I don't necessarily mean that that person that you were with in the past is going to come back around. You're going to have another go around. Although in some cases, this is true. All right. This is true. It is happening for people. If that is the case, if you're reuniting with somebody that you've been apart from for a while, you're coming together on a level where it's like, it's not what it used to be. And your connection may not be what it used to be. You're different. They're different. You've both been changed. So again, you can't let your ideas get in the way about how this is supposed to turn out, how it's supposed to look, or the timing of it, because you don't understand what's on that other end. But this is coming in, okay? Be willing to look at it with fresh eyes, because you ain't seen nothing like this before. And when you see it, now I've seen everything, right? It's big. Those of you who are having that experience, it's big. But there's also other soulmates coming in. There's guides that are coming in on your path. They're going to point you in important directions. They're going to lead you down a wild, new, unexplored path. And it's going to be everything that is your making and everything that brings you your fulfillment and your happiness. And yet you might not recognize any of the cast of characters that are around you on this path. It might be all brand new. And it could be the best thing ever. Some of these soulmates are friends, you know? Some of these soulmates are teachers. Some of these soulmates are those people that you meet and you're like, oh my God, I feel like I've known you my entire life, or I feel like I already know you. There's that soul recognition. So there's important people coming in, right? So just because certain people you thought should be part of this new chapter you're stepping into aren't there, doesn't mean that they won't be later. It also doesn't mean that they will be at all. And maybe there's other people coming in that you'll go, oh, I understand. You know, down the road, you'll go, I understand why that person can't come along. I get it now. Okay. So this is really just about letting go and trusting that what is in alignment with you will always be in alignment with you, no matter what anybody else does. Truth always prevails. And what is in alignment with you will always be so. All right. So, you know, it comes when it is meant to. So now's the time to walk away, all right, from what you invested all that time, that energy into, everything you poured into it, nurturing it, trying to make it be what you thought it should be, and trusting that you did enough, that you did enough. And it's exactly as you need it to be, and having the courage to walk away from it, having that Page of Swords energy, the daring to walk away from it, you know, to be that bold. Yeah, I put all this into this and I'm just going to charge ahead. I'm going to go my own way because I'm following the directive of my heart. And you'll understand the directive of your heart the more that you kind of like pull your energy back, the more you let go, the more you're willing to look at the ways you try to control. Okay. The more you look at the ways you try to put the blame on other people or things outside of yourself for things not working out for you. This could even be like looking at like, I just don't have the same opportunities other people have, you know. I grew up in poverty, you know. I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth, okay? That can be like an example of a narrative that you tell yourself. It's like, yeah, and there's been a lot of people who have been in situations like that, who rose up out of that, and look what they've become. Good example of that is Lizzo. Okay. Lizzo spent so much time getting rejected. She had so many people tell her no. She had so many people shut the door in her face over and over and over and over again. And she kept grinding it out. She dealt with living in a car for a while. She struggled. You know, there's all kinds of narratives she could have had that would have kept her in a space of not trusting her path. But her path was like, it was on fire inside of her and she couldn't deny it. And so she just had to go in that direction. She had to answer the call and she kept going. She could have bought into this narrative of, oh, well, you don't have the Hollywood ideal, the, ideal of what you're supposed to look like, as a performer. She could have bought into that bullshit. She didn't. Okay. She kept trusting her calling. She kept following her own way. And look at her now. Okay. So it's that kind of thing. It's like, it's really about trusting where you're being led. I want to do a cut of the deck energy here. And then I'm going to open it up for any Q&A. Look at this. Yes. Look at this. Heavy hitters. We got the Hierophant with the Chariot. Do you see? And look how I even pulled it out. I didn't intend to pull it out that way. I put the Hierophant in the front. It's like spirit is guiding this chariot. So will you please just hop on in and go for the ride? I think that's like a mantra for all of us at this time because it's actually been coming in quite frequently. Go for the ride, okay? You got the ticket. You got the ticket the minute that Spirit gave you the memo and you answered the call and you took the action. No, just hop in. Go for the ride. You don't need to do anything. Take your hands off of it. You're moving out of this space of lack. All right? You're not out in the cold. You need to hop in the ride. Hop in the ride. It's moving forward, okay? Spirit's going to take you there. Also with that Hierophant energy, that is that Taurus North node. Okay, it's that Taurus archetype. So it's about moving into that Taurus North node, and letting that energy that you already set in motion do its thing and trusting the way it plays out. It's bringing 10 of Cups. It's bringing 3 of Cups. It's bringing Ace of Pentacles. It looks pretty good. So stop getting in your own way, collective. And I just wanted to open it up because I see a couple people here. I did want to open up the floor for Q&A, any kind of like questions you all are having with the cleansing work we're doing, or any kind of experiences you want to bring in, anything like that. I'm going to give you an opportunity for a moment here while I gather up these cards and get myself all together because I am going to be working with a client soon here. And so I just want to give you an opportunity to bring any questions in. No questions today? Okay. For those of you who catch the replay, if you have any questions or experiences you want to bring in regard to the Panchakarma cleanse we're doing or the course, feel free to just go ahead and leave a comment on the replay, and I will be sure to address you. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, just letting somebody else take the wheel, okay? Let Spirit take the wheel. I think you'll like where you end up.